Welcome to another episode of Bargman Saturdays. I suppose it's time to cover the final film in this collection. It's time to discuss A Mouse Tale. A film that has a lot of nostalgic appeal for me, which I suppose is an odd comment to make considering this film's only been out since 2012 and didn't get a US release until 2015, and I only saw it a couple months ago. But you have to realize my go-to escapist fantasy fiction when I was growing up was largely stuff like The Legend of Luke, A Tale from Redwall, or Poppy, or Ragweed, and other books with mice as protagonists. So there's a lot of nostalgic appeal for me when it comes to a mouse in the main role. So A Mouse Tale gets a lot of bonus points for me just because the main character is a mouse. I know it's not fair, because when you think about this film objectively, it's very, very forgettable. It's just a very bland experience. Because it's very generic fantasy with very generic elements all around, and the film itself doesn't really have strong enough visuals to really stand out either. It's obvious that they had some grand epic vision of telling, a grand epic fantasy story involving mice in a big world and having generic fantasy plot cross over with that, but they didn't have the budget for it, so it ends up, falling way short of what they wanted to do with it. But the fact that the main character is a mouse, again, appeals to me enough that I'm able to overlook those problems and see the film as being a lot better than it is. And I admit that. So yeah, I can't really say the film's all that flawed, because like I said, it's generic fantasy. It doesn't really do anything wrong. It just doesn't do anything that's truly exceptional either. So it's not going to be something that stays with you. You'll watch it, you'll probably enjoy it enough if you're into generic fantasy films or really like mice as protagonists like I did, but otherwise it's just, probably going to be a waste of your time, because if it doesn't appeal to your wheelhouse, I suppose you could say, you're not going to be interested in it at all, because there's just not enough there to really make a mark or change your opinion about those kinds of stories at all. Like I said, it's just too generic, not enough budget, so you have very efficiently designed characters, but nothing that sticks to you. And the world itself is very bland as well because of that. So it's a very by-the-books kind of film. But that works when nostalgia's on your side, even if you don't deserve it. Till next time, then. See ya.
You're gonna have to do better than that, chosen one! No! Help! Help! What's going on? What's going on?